Hey everybody, I'm Lenny Graves, and today we are here to do a Pick a Ruin tarot card reading, which is like a pick a card if you're familiar with that. If you're not, what I'm going to ask you to do here in a minute is let me make this big really quick. I'm going to have you pick one of these ruins, and then based on that, there's a timestamp below. I want you to go ahead and hit that timestamp, flash forward there, and I'm going to read some cards. What's happened here is you were meant to find me today, and I was meant to find you, my dark and lovely soul. And by you picking this ruin, I'm going to tell you what your guardian demon, your watcher spirit, or guardian angel if you prefer, wants you to know tonight or today. It's a timeless reading. Whenever you find it, it's meant to find you. So I'd like you to pick between one of these three ruins, Fehu, which is all about wealth, Uruz, which is about strength, and Sowilo, which is like victory, it's the sun. So whichever one of these you feel drawn to, I'm going to make myself big here. I want you to go ahead and pick one. Think about it for a second. Again, it's a Fehu, Uruz, and Sowilo, 1, 2, or 3, and then click on the timestamp below, and we'll go ahead and flash forward. I thank you very much for joining. Please, if you want to, think about clicking like and subscribe, and follow me on Dysfunctional Enlightenment. I really appreciate it. But let's go ahead and get started with this, and we'll get started with Fehu first. Thanks. I'll see you real soon. Hello, Fehu people. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to make myself large again here for a second. See what the cards have in store for you tonight and what your guardian demon wants you to know. And I have a deck of cards here, and this is the Occult Tarot. It's very cool. I enjoy it quite a bit. And what this guy's going to do is, there you go. Let's take, this guy came out first. And who our guardian demon today is Ronov. And Ronov. He teaches rhetoric very well. He gives faithful servants favors of friends and foes and knowledge of languages. So it's Ronov. And if I'm saying that wrong, forgive me. I have horrible pronunciation. I'm sure the demons will come and tear my soul apart for that later. But this is a pretty cool guy. And he's also represented by, let's go ahead and make this big really quick. The Eight of Wands energy, which Eight of Wands is fire, so it's a lot of creativity, drive, and force, and it's a lot of new ideas coming in. So that's the energy tonight. That's the demon that's watching over you. Kind of goes along with all the good things. He's going to teach you how to have a good time. So let's see what's up. Now that we know who's watching over us, we're going to look and see who you are in tonight's play. This is what I like to call the archetype card, Fehu people. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull one card. And the tarot is a story, right? The tarot is the story of you and where you are right now. And by pulling this card, you're the star of my story that I'm about to weave. And we're going to find out what role you're playing tonight. So are you ready for me? We're going to go 1, 2, 3. There we go. And you're playing the Fool, my friend. I love it. I love it. The Fool is, this is not the best lighting for this. I apologize. The Fool is just, okay, so I dig the Fool. Let me jump over here. I like to look at myself because I'm kind of vain. Everybody plays the Fool. The Fool's all about getting out there. The Fool's got his little dog with him. He's got his knapsack. He's ready to have a good time. That's my cat. I'm sorry, she's mad at me. The Fool's ready to have a good time. He's ready to get out in there in the world. And you know what? The world's ready to have the Fool. So what your guardian spirit's telling you tonight is, hey, get ready for a good time. We're going to get out there. We're going to see what's up. Now, on the card of the Fool, and these are the tarot cards. I really enjoy these. You're going to notice that the Fool's about ready to step off a cliff, but you don't give a fuck. And here's the best part. He's starting his journey. He's going to be fine. The Fool is just, you know what? You need to get out there. And it doesn't matter if you know how to do it or not. The world wants you to get out there and start a new journey. So let's go ahead and pull a couple oracle cards. And I'm using the Seasons of the Witch. I'm going to switch up my oracle and tarot cards here pretty soon because I've been doing these for the past couple readings, but I like these ones quite a bit. These have been a lot of fun. These have a really cool gothic witchy vibe. And oh, whoa! Did you see that, guys? That was chaos. So we're going to take this card because I like it. And then we're also going to take this card because I say, what the heck? So let's see. Frog, I'm very familiar with. I don't think I have drawn the pumpkin card. Uncage the spirit within, then the fertile power you hold to taste your buttery velvet upon tongue is a gift. I shall cherish each day that comes. It's going to take me a second to think about, to be completely honest. Here, let me make this big. I'm sorry. And then we got the frog. I'm going to talk about the frog first. So the frog is, and I love this card because if you look at the picture, you got this little frog down here, and he's ready to jump out the window. And this woman's like, he's got everything he needs, but he doesn't want to be in the house anymore. And a frog is an amphibious creature. It starts in the water, it wants to move in the land, all that kind of good stuff. So this to me suggests change. Now, because it goes along with the Fool card, your guardian demon, I like that. I just think that's cool that way. Your guardian demon, your guardian spirit is telling you, hey bro, hey gal, whatever, get out there. Make that transition. Go from where you are to where you want to be. Now is the time to be the fool. Now is the time not to play it safe. Do you hear the sirens? If you can, that's a sign from the universe. This is the angels or the demons screaming, fuck yeah, Lenny. So anyway, this is telling you, along with the fool, it's time to get moving. Now, the pumpkin, I'm going to say that the pumpkin, because especially the way it's presented and how this lady, she's kind of sitting in the forest and she's holding her pumpkin, is just holding her pumpkin. I don't know. That's their hobbies in the Middle Ages or whatever this guy, which one. But anyway, I'm thinking it's harvest, and the way it's described the pumpkin is like, so you go ahead and you're going to make this transition, but then when you make the transition, you're going to harvest something from it. Maybe it's a better job, maybe it's a new lover, maybe it's a new house, maybe it's a new pet, maybe it's something new. But what the change you make, stepping out into your new to be the fool, is going to change something in your life. You're going to get something for it, right? Does that make sense? So let's see what else we got going on. Let's pull the tarot. The tarot is where the really answers are. This is my Deviant Moon deck. I love this deck. Some people don't, but I don't know. I think it's cool. I like the art. I kind of like the Deviant Moon Tarot has its own vibe. And anybody who knows about the Deviant Moon Tarot, comment below if you know what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I mean. These cards are brutally honest and kind of scary sometimes. Anyway, but I like them. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to be. Not very much, so we'll start there. Okay, so it's exactly. I'll see. I know what I'm talking about, guys. I don't need to see the whole thing to get going. All right, so we've got the Five of Swords. We talked about that in a second. We got Strength upside down. We got reversed is the right. I like upside down too. We got the Six of Cups upside down, and then we got the King of Swords. So let me tell you what's up here. You need to move on, right? That's the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is telling you, so because I want to talk to you. The Five of Swords is going to, it says to you, hey, yeah, you got to take what you need and you got to move on. It's time to go. It's time to go. It's time to get out there. It's time to move. It's time to do what you need to do. Because by not doing this, you're not letting yourself be as strong as you could be, right? That's Strength upside down. That's a powerful card, but it's blocked right now. You're a powerful person, but I think where you are and what you're doing is holding you back in some way, right? You get what I'm saying? And maybe it has something to do with your childhood or something you think about your childhood, or maybe that you're just stuck in a place that it's reminiscent of your childhood. This is a general reading, so it can be a couple different things, but these things being blocked is keeping you from the King of Swords, and the King of Swords is wisdom. It's knowledge about oneself or the world. It's like you're going to learn something about yourself. And it's also the King's a very regal figure, especially in this card if we interpret the imagery on it, where we see that the King, he's got the whole world at his feet with this little mini-me dude hanging out. You and this guy. No, but this is your energy. You're going to come, if you can undo this, right? If you can let go of this shit that used to bother you in the past and unlock your strength and have the courage to be the fool, you're going to be successful, right? You really are. That's what this is, because it ties into the Fehu. It's all about material. Like maybe you're not doing as well financially right now. There's something material, I think, and you're your own worst enemy here, right? You're holding yourself back. Let me show you that right somewhere. So now I'm going to do some clarification and see what that means. Right? Let's have a, whoa, the cards are flying on my hands tonight, and not in a cool way. They're not popping out like in a magical tarot way. They're doing like do you know how to actually shuffle cards way, bro? And I've said bro a bunch today. I do not know why. I apologize. I think it's because me and my buddy were hanging out this earlier today. Yeah, I would try to refrain at this point. So let's go ahead and clarify what's up here. So we've got the 10 of Wands upright. We've got the 7 of Swords upside down. It's funny how this works. We've got the Two of Cups upside down, and we got Temperance. Okay, so this story is easy to tell, right? It really is. So again, when we're moving on, you're carrying a lot with you right now, right? You're carrying a bunch with you. You don't, no, you do. You just have a bunch of, but you can hold it. You can hold it, whatever it is. It can be financial burden. It can be grief. It can be stress. It can be a lot of stuff. You're weighed down, but it's not as bad as you really think it is. You can do, you can bear the load, right? That's the 10 of Wands upright. We come over here, and I think it's funny that the Seven of Swords, which is usually deception, especially because it's upside down, it's deception towards you. Someone has told you you're not strong, I think. Somebody has led you into the belief, maybe a friend, family member, I don't know, this is general reading. This could just be that you have a negative self-image, which is a damn shame because you're a strong person. You should unblock that because that's keeping you from being strong. And I think now I'm seeing this a little bit clearer. This is older memories, like childhood memories, but we also have the Lovers inverted. To me, that suggests that maybe you had a relationship in the past that didn't work out so well, and that has damaged your self-worth, and you maybe don't think about that so much. You don't think like maybe you're good enough. You have bad self-worth. This is how you don't need to be that way. You should let all that go. And because we come to Temperance, and Temperance is just time, right? And over time, things will become better for you, and you'll find a balance, especially when you come into this King energy, and you unblock all of these things. You're going to see the Five of Wands upside down is that to me, and this suggests that you're going to cease your struggle, right? It's not going to be as bad for you. You won't have to work as hard, and you'll be able to rest. Here, I'm not even showing the cards as I'm pulling them up. That's what your guardian demon wants you to know today is whatever things bothered you in the past, your guardian spirit, however you want to put it, I did this one. However you want to, whatever's bothered you in the past, right? It doesn't have to. You can let that go. Whatever people told you, you don't need to worry about it. And when you let all that shit go, your life becomes way easier, and you just can relax more, and you can do more of the things you want. You really come into this King worldly energy, and the King's reverse with the Fool. See how the Fool comes up again? Somebody hurt you a while ago, let it go, and then get back out in the world. You're going to be a lot happier. I'm not going to tell you what's going to happen. I'm just going to tell you whatever's bothered you in the past, you need to let that go now. That's what your guardian demon wants you to know, that you're being watched and you're protected, and it's time for you to transition and change to something else. Now, this is a general reading, and that's why I'm not going to be too specific here, because it can be anything. It can be a job. It can be a relationship. It can be a place to live. Again, whatever resonates for you, right? And if you've been with me this long, something's been resonating for you, something I'm talking about already, right? That's going to lead you to this Fehu energy that you initially just picked, right? The wealth, the happiness, the home, the abundance that you've been looking for. You don't have to keep yourself locked down by how you think about yourself, your self-image, right? How you think, like maybe you don't have a degree, so you don't think you can be successful. It doesn't matter. Most millionaires don't have degrees. Maybe you think that like you're not like, I don't know, maybe you could be real heavy set and you want to be a bodybuilder and you don't think you can get there. You can. Anything you want to do not let what people have done. Especially, I get this vibe too from a lot of people, because a lot of people look for tarot because it's love, right? Whatever happened to you in the past in love, every human being is different, right? We're all just our own like unique little fingerprint. And there's like 7.5 billion people on the planet. If somebody didn't work out with you, if they made you feel bad, or you didn't feel good enough after that, or you don't feel like you have the same worth, what I would say, and I mean this in the most poetic way, is fuck them. They're not worth the time. You're worth the time. Embrace your newness, embrace your positive new energy, and go out and enjoy the world. Whatever you know has been holding you back, let it go and be the Fool. You will be successful. I'm not going to tell you how you're going to be successful. I want you to find that out, because that's your own path, and this is a general reading. But what I do know is you are going to get out there and you're going to be successful. You're going to pull the harvest. Something the Fehu is like, it's cattle originally. It's got a lot of different meanings. You're gonna be successful in the long run. But to do so, to truly be successful, you have to let go of the hang-ups you've had. And I think they really, and for a lot of you, it might not be everybody, it could be different childhood things or something like that, but I think it's going to resonate you with that you have hang-ups with like a relationship in the past or something that maybe damaged your self-worth. That's what I'm really getting more than anything else from the cards. And you don't need to do that anymore. You can let it go. Make yourself new. Get a haircut. Buy a new outfit. I don't know what people do to make themselves feel new. Take a class, do something like that. But just get out there and just do something else because you're awesome. That's really all you need to know today. That's what your guardian demon wants you to know. Go out and be happy. Let it go. Let it go. And when you do, you will be amazed at how quickly and how amazingly your life gets better. So I want to thank you very much for hanging out with me this long. I would again ask you to check out Dysfunctional Enlightenment on Facebook or YouTube, and I would really think you were awesome if you liked, subscribed, or even yet, if you commented and said, yeah, I want that good energy, I'm letting it go. Thank you, Lenny Graves. This made some sense to me. That would really make my day and help me encourage me to do these more. Thank you, my dark and lovely soul. You were meant to find me tonight. I was meant to find you. I'm glad we got to spend some time together, and I hope I've given you a little bit of enlightenment. Get out there and be the fool. You're okay. You're awesome. You're better than you think you are. I will talk to you later. I got to go help these other people. Bye-bye. Hello, my Uruz people. Uruz. I can't talk today. People. This is a ruin that's all about strength. And maybe we'll find some of the strength and stuff we need to find tonight. So I drew you to this ruin. And, well, we're going to find out. We're going to find out. Now, this is your guardian demon ruin, and we're going to find out who that is. Now, your guardian demon, your guardian spirit, your guardian angel, however you want to put it. But I don't know. I kind of like the darker imagery. I think it'd be cool to have a guardian demon. I kind of think I have one. I don't know about you. And if you probably do, if you've come this far. So let's find out who that is tonight. This is the Occult Tarot. It's an awesome deck, and it's themed around traditional demons. So we're just going to pull it, and we're going to find out the demon that is associated with you tonight. I can't stress enough that whenever you found this, even if this is in the middle of the day, you were meant to find it right now. I'm doing this recording on a Wednesday night. So the demon that's associated with us today is Zepar. That sounds cool. Let's see what he does. Well, I like Sapar. He causes women to love men and brings them together in love. So we love Sapar. We think he's an awesome dude. That's a pretty good card, right? And he's also represented in the tarot by the Lovers. So this might be exciting. Ooh, I don't even know. Let's find out. So now that we know who the guardian demon is watching over us is Zepar. He's the lover man. We're going to go ahead. Now I'm going to pull your card. When I do a reading is a story, right? This is your story. This is what your guardian demon, where you are at right now in life, what you need to know. And as the star of the stories, we should tell what character you are, right? So that's your archetype card. And I'm going to pull from the Tarot. It's only major arcana cards. But, well, you're the star of your show, so you deserve to be a major arcana card, don't you think? And this will give you your general reading, where you are right now. There's the Emperor on the bottom. Hello. Where you are right now. And what your energy is in the reading, right? So let's go ahead and see who you are. You are the High Priestess. Ooh, that's cool. Let's talk about that for a second, because it's not just the High Priestess, but it's the High Priestess. It's the imagery associated with her. Because in this deck in particular, the High Priestess is represented by the Medusa, which is a very amazing figure. It's a tragic tale. Really, I feel bad about the woman who was assaulted and she got punished for it. She got turned into a monster. But in the card deck in particularly, this represents feminine inner energy, magical energies. I think as it goes along with the Lover's energy from Zepar, there's an inward sensuality or quest for truth. We're gonna have to clear this up a little bit where you're going right now, because those two cards together, I want to see what's up. So let's go ahead and draw a couple oracle cards really quick before we start talking about it more. That'll give me a clearer idea. Because I want to say I got a really strong vibe that we've got some love energy that your guardian demon wants you to know about. But the High Priestess is also a little bit about inward spiritual awakening. Maybe you're going to meet a witch or a warlock. That'd be pretty cool, especially if they're good looking. Alrighty, let's have a look. So we've got the elements and the banshee. Hey, I know what I'm talking about. All right, so these two cards, that's what the sense is. I still think, okay, so this might be oddly specific, and so maybe it doesn't work for you, but I think it'll resonate for a few people. So we got the elements here, right? And there's these 4 witches, and they represent earth, wind, air, earth, air, water, and fire. There we go. And then we've got the banshee, which you probably know what a banshee is. But in this point, she's a ghost, Irish ghost woman. She's a wailing spirit, whatever. So make myself big while we talk about this for a second. What this really strongly suggests to me is that you do have a little bit of magic energy in your guardian demon wants you to know that. You have some inner spiritual strength. Uruz, Rune, that I think I say that right. I'm horrible in my Rune pronunciation. If I'm wrong, correct me. The High Priestess. I'm sorry, I lose my train of thought because it's okay. So I think that maybe you have some inward like magical energy. I don't want to go that far with it. Psychic, maybe you're medium, something like that. I don't know, because you have the elements, right? And the elements card suggests to me magic, because like in the tarot, to be the magician, you have to have all 4 elements, right? You have to, I would really be interested in, like in this particularly. Guys, I'm going to have to stop for 1 second. Sorry, I'm having technical difficulties. Sorry about that, guys. I got my magic power back. We had some technical difficulties, which was called my cat scratching at the back door. Now, where was I? I was talking about your inner magical energy, and I do apologize about that. Sorry, we got to channel the spirits, right? So you've got this natural witch energy about you, and you can project it through your voice. You're a natural caster. That's what the banshee is. And you can use your voice. You can mess people up with your voice. You got a lot of power. You can trump people with your voice, too. But that's what's about. It's the energy I'm getting. It's time for you to open up your spiritualness, right? Makes sense? It should make sense to you. If it doesn't, this could very well mean that the elements, spirits coming around you, your guardian demon, and they're trying to tell you now it's time to put yourself out there, to embrace your inner self. Maybe you're an artist, a creator of some kind, but I really get like you got a vibe of magic. And this might not make a career. Like a lot of witches don't make a career out of being a witch. Sometimes a witch is, like that nice old lady who makes you cookies and they have something extra in them. Not like hallucinogens or anything, that little magic, right? Sometimes a witch is that lady who does your tarot cards down the street. You don't really think about. Anyway, it can. You might have some magical energy you might want to think about. And you probably maybe already even know this. I don't honestly know, and that's why we're going to pull some tarot cards here. I think that's kind of exciting though, and that's what Sapar wants you to know. But I think, and this is, and I'd really be interested to see with the. With the High Priestess of Par, the elements of the Banshee, how that's going to come together, because we're going to see the Hangman upside down, the Star upside down, the Tower, and then the 4 of Cups. Okay, so let me make these big. I'm sorry, I should have been doing that when I did that. I got the Hangman inverted. Okay, so we're kind of hung up right now, literally. Then we've got the Star, and that hang up is causing us from our wish fulfillment, that magic in our soul. And I think what's required is we need a severe shakeup in the Tower. We got to bring it all down, and we got to get rid of like what's been holding us back in the past, because we can't see what we got for what we don't. What this is telling me is, what your guardian demon wants you to know right now is you got a lot more power in this world than you think you do. And that's not just like maybe even magical power. That can be temporal power, though I really do get a sense of the magic, right? Because the Star is also kind of mystical in my opinion, even though that's really just at the end of the day, it's about wish fulfillment. But you got the Hangman with it. And they're both inverted, and this tells me that you're just like holding yourself back. You're keeping yourself hung up, and you have all this like magical energy and inner knowledge and all this kind of stuff. Like maybe, like again, I really get that witchcraft vibe, but let's say it's not. Let's say it's something else. Let's say you're like a business person. If you have an idea right now that like nobody else does or anything like that, you might want to think about going with it. That's what that is. That's that vibe, right? Is that you've got this inner energy that you don't, like it's just yours. You just own it. Nobody's giving it to you. Your guardian demon didn't even give it to you. He's just like letting you know you have it. And that you can project that out. I think vocally will have something to do with that. I think your voice has an element like to do with that. And even for the spells you cast or the songs you sing or the meetings or the people you talk to, but you bring out that magical nature. But to really get there, you've got to let go of like the negative beliefs you have about yourself. You really do. You got some blockage here. You're really like not going with it. And because it requires you to shake up your life a little bit with the Tower, right? And bring it all down. And I think that's what you're thinking about. Like you're worried that to like, okay, so I don't know the best way to put this is like to embrace your mystical nature. You've got to cut out and do some stuff. And you probably already know what I'm talking about, right? And you're not really thrilled about it because you're not going to see what you're gaining by what you're getting rid of. Like maybe you have a toxic person in your life right now that's keeping you from expressing yourself spiritually or creatively. Maybe you have, it can be a lot of things. This is a general reading. It could be a bunch of different things, but you got something that you need to get rid of. The tower is telling us to destroy it, but you don't want to because you don't see all that you're going to gain by doing that. And it really helps you come into your own inner strength. And let's pull some clarifier cards really quick because I'll be interested to see what that is. Sorry guys, just 1 second here because this is an unusual reading. We'll make the cards big while I pull them out here. So we got the we got the 9 of Cups, and it's upside down over the Hangman. And the 9 of Cups is like a wish fulfillment card. It's about being really, really happy, but it's upside down right now, right next to the 10 of Cups, which is about perfect, happy family. And then we have the 8 of Swords, and then we've also got the 7 of Pentacles. And 7 of Pentacles is upside down. Sorry, the 8 of Swords is not. So what's that telling us? First of all, it's telling us that our hang-ups are keeping us from being really happy, right? That's the blocks. You could be perfect house, whatever kind of wishes you want. That's a really good combination of cards, to be honest with, even though they're inverted, because it's never really a bad thing, right? It's just you need to unblock some energy to get where you want for these cards, right? That's you want to be there. This is like really happy together, okay? And you feel trapped right now by this tower that you've got to blow up. Something's trapping you, keeping you from doing this. And it's even kind of draining your resources. I think probably financially that or materialistically, but it could be spiritually too. And it even could be draining your life force. You can see how the tree's bleeding under this like little witch who's kind of cutting on it. That's just interpretation of that. But you got to let go of somebody who's blocking you from coming into your own. When you do that, let's pull some cards. Okay, so when you do that, it's not going to be the easiest road to begin with. You're going to have to because maybe like you're living with somebody that you're dependent on, maybe, or that you got, there's some, I don't know what it is, but there's something that you've got to like kind of get rid of, and it's going to take a minute to do that, right? And it's going to shake things up. But when it does, and I'm trying to find your solution here on the cards, you got a lot of hangups because you want to undo this bad energy, but I think something's really coming back and keeping you from just living your life. That's what tells me it's like you can't let it go because temperance is time, even though it's been a while, and it's keeping you from living your life. It's keeping you to come in from this new energy that's going to make you happy. You need to let go whatever this is. Like, and again, I'm going to jump over here so we can talk about this for a second. This doesn't necessarily have to be a person. This could be a job. Like maybe you got fired from a job, right? And if you didn't get fired, this is a general reading. This could be a lot of different things. Maybe you didn't pass a really important class in school. Could be that. Maybe you lost a game that you thought you had to. Something has really broken your sense of self and confidence in your ability to do things. Maybe you were a tarot card reader, right? Here's an example. You botched your first reading and somebody made fun of you or something like that, and that kept you, even though you have the talent, you just got nervous, right? Maybe you were a race car driver and you spun off the road, right? There's a whole bunch of different things that can happen that can mess a person up. Or it could be a person is really messing you up, right? And draining you. But whatever it is, it's that energy that's attached to your high priestess energy, which is keeping you from moving on. And I'm going to ask the cards here, if we get a move on here, right? What's going to happen? Because I just keep getting this circle, right? You got this circle on the cards. Is that you're just, and it's always these really good cards, but they're upside down. You're blocking yourself. So if you unblock, what you're going to get? Oh, the Wheel of Fortune upside down. There we go. And I get what this is now. We had to get a lot of cards to get your solution, but this is really what this is, because I try to make sure that folks are happy, because I think really you're just keeping yourself from being happy. And the final card being the Sun upright really takes that back full circle. And this is also why you pick this rune, because it takes a strong person to do this, to go through this cycle. Because you have brought yourself down for so long about different aspects of yourself that you can't even see it anymore. And like I said, you might be even 90% happy most of the time, But there's still something, and you know what this is. Like I said, it could be a job, it can be a relationship, it can be so many different things, but it is messing your life up and you can't let it go. The devil, especially when it's inverted, is the trick to the devil, and it's not on this card set in particular, but in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, is the chains on the people is really loose too. You just take them off whenever you want to, but they don't think they can, so they sit there and they're just like tortured totally right on the card. You don't have to be. That's what this is all just. This is just, again, I get this really like, you just let it go, be happy. You know what I'm talking about. When you do, you drop into your sun energy, but you've got a lot to work on there. You've got to let that go. I don't know what it is, but when you do, you have this really, really magical energy about you. And magical energy can also be just like really strong creative energy, right? Like you have a really good big creative spark or something like that. Magical, what else could it could be, you might have like a literary talent, you like creativity, it's fire energy, right? A lot of times it's magic, it's psychic, comedians, all that kind of stuff, but a lot of times it can be artistic, or it can be just a really driving passion, right, for the things that you do and like to do. You've got that really within you, and whatever thing about your self-worth that's keeping you doing that, like you don't think you're pretty enough, fast enough, good enough, whatever it is, it's not true. Whatever happened to you, it's not true. That is a hang-up you're causing yourself, and it is keeping you from being this amazing person. And I'm going to tell you by the rune you picked inherently, and by what Zepar is telling me, and I'm channeling right now for you, is you're a strong person. Buff, right? You take care of it. You don't need to. You've weathered all that you needed to weather, so now it's time to let it go and come into your sun, come into your triumph. And when you do, you're going to express yourself in ways that make you incredibly happy, and you just could be happier. But again, I don't like this reading because it really requires, one, I get an energy that you're just, like I said, you hang up right now that's really bothering you, and it makes me sad. And I wish I had a more quick solution for you, but to get out of where you're at, you know what? Well, no, there's too many others, but I'm going to keep this because the deck flipped. Mischief, when I was putting these away, popped up. I do not know why my deck did that. There we go. And I don't know why my deck did it. Sometimes the cards want me to know something before I let you go, and that's funny because it was taking a while to slow down as this Mischief card came up, right? Whatever bothered you was probably somebody maybe was malicious or something like that. Yeah. As I would put most eloquently, fuck them. They're not worth your time. You're a strong person. Sapar has told me that you're awesome. If you're a dude watching this, or if you're a lady who likes, you can be good with ladies too if you want to be. That's that energy's coming. You got a lot of charisma to you. But what your guardian demon, what your guardian angel, what your guardian spirit, what the universe wants to tell you today is, my dark and lovely soul, you are, what did that guy used to say in the mirror? You're smart enough, good, everybody likes you. Remember, he used to do the affirmations. I can't think of his name. I can't either. It's been too long. But you know what I'm talking about. He used to stare in the mirror, and he had that real passive, happy atmosphere or attitude. Be that way about yourself. And again, maybe you're really like smoking hot, right? And this isn't like a physical, like you're like, but like you don't think like you are good at rhyming and you want to be a poet. That's a horrible example, but you get what I'm saying. Is whatever you want to be, just go ahead and be it. You're good enough. You really are. You just don't think you are. But you know what? Maybe I think some of you are starting to wake up to that fact because you picked that Uruz, you picked the string. Proud of you. All right, I'm going to finish up with these Sowilo people. I want to thank you very much for hanging out with me, and I hope you got something out of that. If you did, please think about following me at Dysfunctional Enlightenment on Facebook or YouTube. I'm also the Lenny Graves on TikTok, and I really thank you, my dark and lovely soul. I hope you got something out of that. If you did, I please think about liking it. Please think about giving me a comment that you did, because it makes me happy, because then I know to keep on doing these things. I really do appreciate it. I hope it resonated with you, and you have an awesome rest of the day, evening, whenever you found this. Whenever you found this, you were meant to find it. I'll talk to you later. Hello, my Sowilo people. You are the energy of the sun. Woo! Triumph. Let me pop up here and talk to you guys for a second. Well, I guess I should have pulled your first cards first. This is the, who's your guardian demon? Who's watching over you, and what do they want you to know? So first, what I'm going to do is from the Occult Tarot. This is a wonderful little tarot card deck. It is based on Hebrew demons, hermetic demons. And it's a normal tarot card deck, but it also has the demon as well. So I like to pull this, and we're going to find out what demon's been watching over you and what they want you to know. And again, if that creeps you out a little bit, it shouldn't. We are all just metaphors, illusions, dreams, thoughts. However energy resonates with you, it resonates with you. If you prefer to think of it as a guardian spirit, the universe, a guardian angel, you think about however you want to think about it, my dark and lovely soul. But if you came here, maybe you're a little bit darker like myself, and I don't know, I like my demons. I don't know about you. Let's see what your cards have to say about who your guardian demon is. It is person. Person, P-U-R-S-O-N. That's what I'm going to, here, let me make the, I'm horrible at the pronunciation of the names of demons. One day, they're going to all come and just get me. It'll be like Hellraiser. And I also have my reading glasses on, so forgive me. He knows all hidden things, answers truly about things, earthly or divine. So your guardian demon wants you to know some stuff, and he knows some stuff. He's a pretty awesome guy, really. If we look at him for a second, he's riding like a bear dog or something like that. I don't even know. He's the Four of Wands, too, which is actually an exceptionally good card. It's a fire energy card, and the Four of Wands typically represents a really strong, happy home. So that's never a bad thing. So let's see what else we got going on, though. Now we're going to talk about you. And when I when I do a tarot card reading, at the end of the day, it's just a story. It's a story about you, and you're the star of the story. So what I like to do is I use the tarot because I love the art. It's just major arcana cards. And that's funny. At the bottom of the deck, when I pulled it up there, it's the sun, and your Rune is all about the sun. You're the star of your tale, right? And this is a tale about you. And tonight, this card is the archetype card of you. This is your energy. This is who you are in our story. And let's find out who that is. You today are the High Priestess. The last card I drew was the High Priestess. Very strange. But that's the way the tarot, one time, I'll tell you, stop and do a story here. It's just completely random. One time when I was doing a pick a card reading, I drew the same tarot archetype twice. And I was like, I don't want to do that because that'll be boring in the video. Because I was thinking, when I started doing this, I didn't really quite I didn't know the best way to do it, right? So I thought, I don't know, that'll be boring if somebody watches the whole thing through, so maybe I should just pull the cards again, right? And you know what I did? I pulled the same card again. When the tarot wants to talk to you, the tarot wants to talk to you. So we got two High Priestesses tonight. I just think that's kind of funny whenever that happens. So High Priestess is all about inward knowledge, spiritual belief, all that kind of stuff. And I think that is kind of funny. And we got that mystical bent because your guardian demon over here, he's all about mystical knowledge and finding things out. So these two guys are already working together pretty well. Now I'm going to draw a couple oracle cards. And these cards are from the Seasons of the Witch. I think that's the right name. I always forget. I love them. They're pretty goth. They got this Season of the Witch. They're black. They're cool. Here, let me make this big so we can see what we got. First card, I got two at once, so that'll make that easier. We've got Wolf and Elders. Let's think about what that means. Let's see what they say first. So we have the Wolf and the Elders. And sorry about that, guys. I had some technical difficulties there. Cat issues. So many cat issues. That's what happens when I try to read cards. So the Wolf is... I don't have my reading glasses on. Devours the ferocious calling within, the howling of your spirit, run wildly with the freedom of your knowing. And Elders, birth for the seed within the belly of the moon. They are wise and felt touches of our heart and felt deep within the marrows of our spirit. So I think what your guardian demon's trying to tell you right now is you got kind of like an old soul, kind of like an ancient spirit. You might even have some shamanic energy is what I'm getting with the Wolf tied to the moon. And then the Elders also ties that to the moon. And if you'll notice, the moon's even on this card again. I get a lot of there's a lot of moon vibe energy in this deck in particular, but I really get that. You have like this, like you're you have an old soul. You have a mysticism about you. And that comes from the High Priestess energy you have within you. And it's a feminine energy, but even if you're a guy, we have different levels of swirls of energy within us. You have that like soul. I don't necessarily get the impression, we'll pull some cards, that maybe so much like you're called to be a practitioner, you might be, but it doesn't matter. You're like in past lives and stuff like that. Your guardian demon wants you to know, like, you're like a wise person, right? You probably do that now. Like a village elder or something like that. We'll pull some tarot cards to figure that out. Very different energy than the other two readings that I've had. So kind of weird, guys. Kind of weird. Got that high priestess energy going on. Using the Deviant Moon deck, a lot of tarot card readers do not like this deck. I absolutely adore it. It's wicked. So we've got the Seven of Cups upside down. We've got the Three of Swords upside down. We've got the King of Pentacles. And we've got the Two of Swords. And then we've got the Hierophant. Now, I pulled 5 cards here rather than 4, and I almost did that just doing so. I usually have been pulling 4 tonight, but I tell you, it just happened that way for me. So we're going to talk about why that happened, because sometimes the cards sometimes Spirit just, boom, Spirit, whatever, person did it, Exorcist style. I don't know if you guys saw me go Linda Blair there for a second. But anyway, that card wanted to come up. So we've got the Seven of Cups upside down. And the Seven of Cups is traditionally all about a choice that you need to make in your life. And it's going to cause you some heartbreak, perhaps. But afterwards, you really kind of come into your own in the material sense with the King of Pentacles. And the Two of Wands typically says to me, I mean, in the traditional meaning, it's like, be sure you're not leaving anything behind. But in this reading, it's like, you're really ready to harvest this energy you have within, right? So that's the first 4 that I was going to pull. But this card that came out kind of on its own is what I want to talk about. Because when you make that choice, even though it causes you heartbreak, you really do become a more worldly individual because you have this like old soul energy vibe, like you're wise and stuff, right? And this allows you to really kind of start to move forward in life and really harvest what you want to do. And that turns into the Hierophant, which is it's funny because the Hierophant is the other end of the High Priestess, right? He's the male counterpart. He's more like worldly, but that also really speaks to duality. I think your guardian demon, and again, this is a very different reading than the other 2 readings I had. You're an older soul, and you might have some trouble and tribulation in this life because you're really getting towards that ascension cycle. You're like getting ready to move on, right? See, my cat knows about it. He's going to harass me. He might not. He might leave us alone. You've got this duality, this like you're coming about, and you can even do that more so should you embrace and make some choices. And I'm going to pull some clarifiers here really quick because before I advise you, I want to see where that leads. So we've got the Three of Cups. Got the Emperor reversed. Got the King of Cups reversed. We got the Wands, and then again, I'm pulling, and we've got Strength. Okay. So this choice that leads you into your more like what I think your calling is, you're going to be happy. It's going to make you emotionally fulfilling. It might cost you, though. You might lose somebody in the process. I'm not going to lie to you about that. Walking one path, and you'll know what I mean by this. And this is a general reading, and this could be from anything from like you really feel like you're called to be a teacher, but right now you're working in customer service, to you're thinking that you should be running for political office or something, right? There's my cat. You think that you should be running for political office or something. And again, I'm sorry, I got my cats every time I do a reading. Anyway, you think maybe like you should be running for political office or something like that, or you should maybe move to Hollywood, become a star, or something like that. The choice you make, that's part of your journey. And again, I don't want to think anything shallow because again, you have this really like old soul. Like I'm talking about like, I personally believe, and a lot of people is like there's cycles, like chromatic cycles, but the people like, for lack of a better word, figure out how to get beyond that and go to nirvana. Like you're hitting that soul progression, like you're close, right? If not even in this lifetime. So you might want to walk that path and you have the strength to do it. And it leads you to this real priest energy, but it does sap your strength. It does take a lot of what you have to walk this like really spiritual path. And a spiritual path doesn't necessarily mean like you move to Tibet and sell all your shit. You don't have to do that. It just means like maybe instead of like, playing on Facebook in the morning, you're meditating more. Instead of eating processed food and drinking Diet Coke or whatever, you're drinking green tea and trying like, decalcify your pineal gland, because you're opening up. Maybe taking some scary dosages of psychedelics if it's legal and it's advisable in where you are. I'm not going to go into that, but there's some trials and tribulations, but it really pushes you to this old soul energy you have. And like I said, it's draining, and it causes that, it's really about you letting go of the past. But when that happens, you break free of the lies that have been surrounding you, and you get this and lies that are surrounding you. I'm talking about lies like, make this bigger. I'm not about lies like about the truth of existence and how you feel about yourself and what's real and what matters and stuff like that. It's just going to be blown away, like all your preconceptions and stuff, because you're ready to wake up to this path. And you won't be deterred by lies or anything like that. And you're going to harvest like this fire and raw magic energy. I can almost feel it, right? This is what your guardian demon wants you to know, is like, you can be like this. You can be that village elder again, right? But you've done it so many times, and you've gone through this, and you know this about yourself deep down. This is like, if you haven't thought about this before, now that I've told you this is resonating with you. Like, I think you might be right there, because I get that strong vibe, is you've got an old soul. And I really, really, for a lot of you out there, again, this is a general reading. It may not be everybody, but in those past existences, incarnations, conscious, whatever, you help people. I don't know if you're a magician, but you were like a wise person, a village elder. I keep saying village elder, I don't know the better word, like a philosopher or something like that. And you've had the deep thoughts, and you've gone through the trials and the tribulations and stuff like that. And this life is like, it's getting to that point where you're ready to move on, but you got a few things you want to tidy up. And this is that harvesting that energy. And again, it keeps you kind of from, it alleviates a lot of your worry. It keeps you from happening like, okay, so I'm sorry, I pulled some cards and I'm not even showing you what I'm doing as I'm doing it. But so you've got the 10 of Pentacles upside down. That's a happy home life. That's materialistic, and this is not a materialistic path. You've got the, my eyes are bad. The 9 of Wands upside down, and that's about relinquishing the struggle, right? And then you've got the Queen of Wands, which you just got what it takes. You've got what it takes in this lifetime to achieve spiritual enlightenment. It's just not the easiest path. It's something you got to choose if you want to do in your life or not. And this is a very unusual tarot card reading, and this is not one I would normally do. And I'm going to make myself big, because I don't really, these aren't the kind I usually tell people, like, maybe you should start dating, or like maybe you might want to think about buying a house or changing your career. This was a very specific message from your spirit, your guardian demon, your guardian angel person. You have an old soul in this life. You can do a lot with that. You're close to getting out of the game, achieving a new level of consciousness, leveling up, whatever you want to call it, right? But it's not easy to do that, right? It requires like a more spiritual outlook in life, and you got to choose if you want to do that or not. And here's one thing cool about it: you can play the game as many times as you want it, but I think eventually, like, I think even this in your soul, like right now, you don't want to keep coming back anymore. You've done a lot. You want to see what's next, right? And this is this lifetime, and this is one of your like final lifetimes, right? Like, and I don't want you to think like this is morose or something. You might live to be 150 years before you die or something like that, right? But this lifetime is one of your more final ones before you finally just like, you're at the verge of, you've gotten all you can out of 3D existence, right? And you're ready to go just blast off to the 9th dimension. And you can get closer to that and get more spiritual and more awakened in this lifetime. But it does require making material sacrifices and family sacrifices and stuff like that. And I'm going to be honest with you, you might not be comfortable with that. But it's like, it's the choice in life. Is, do you go for the quick and happy, or do you go for the long term? Long term is enlightenment and like spiritual nirvana and stuff like that. Short term is like, maybe you have another awesome life of watching HBO and raising another family or something like that, which there's absolutely nothing wrong with. And I would wish you well, and the cards would wish you well, and I get that from your guardian demon too. It's your choice, but you're real close. And like I said, I don't know if it'll be this lifetime where you finally reach enlightenment, but it'll be like the next one or the one after that. You're really close. And I mean, I kind of am inclined to believe, like, these are my cats affirming that Hinduist philosophy that there's lots of lifetimes and reading cards. That's a different video. We'll put one of those up. But what I want you to know about that is you have what it takes, and you can enlighten yourself. And again, I know that's a really weird reading, and it is for me too. It's not one I would typically do, but that's what your guardian demon wanted you to know. You have like this really old soul. I hope that works for you. I hope you got something out of this. I hope that resonates with you. If it does, please like and comment that it does, because it's a very odd reading for me. You'll know what I mean if you feel like you're an old soul. Um, it'll just resonate with you. It should be already. And I think that's also why you picked the Sowilo Ruin, because it's like the victory, the sun, the end, right? The conquering of it. You're at that point. You're about to become that shining light, right? Of your consciousness. Or I don't know, I'm not a guru. But I take something away from that and think about it. Maybe if you're not a spiritual person, pick up a book about spirituality. If you are a spiritual person, this is the affirmation you are looking for from the universe or spirit or whatever, is that you need to continue on your spiritual path. I hope that resonates with you. If it did, please do think about following me at Dysfunctional Enlightenment on YouTube or Facebook. You can also find me at The Lenny Graves on TikTok and Instagram, though I don't post much on Instagram. I'm going to try to do better at that. I thank you very, very much, my dark and lovely soul. Soul is the word I was looking for. Thank you for joining for me. Thank you for letting me share an insight into your very old and beautiful, like complex soul. You're a very interesting person. You really are, even if you don't think you are, you are. Thank you very much. Have a great night or a great morning. It's a timeless reading. It was meant to find you when it was meant to find you. Talk to you guys later.